My name is Dylan Brown, and this is a video of the Dietary Habits Consultation completed on the 27th of the 10th of the 18th. This is my client Dane. So Dane, what would be a dietary goal that you'd like to have as part of training at the gym?
I like to lose fat and gain some muscle mass because I want to do bodybuilding.
Awesome, that is great. So I'm just going to run through some questions. It's going to be about serves per day on certain type of foods. So the first one is, how many serves of vegetables do you usually eat per day?
Usually one
serve?
a day.
Sure.
Yeah.
How many serves of fruit do you usually eat per day?
Probably the same one a day.
Yeah. How many serves of bread and cereals?
Probably 4 to 5 a day.
4 to 5, sure. So you like your rice, I heard before?
Yep.
Awesome. How many serves of dairy do you consume per day?
Probably 4 to 5 as well.
Sure. How many serves of meat or alternatives do you consume per day?
2 to 3.
And they in your main meals usually?
Yeah, usually at dinner.
Sure. So the last one here is discretionary choices. So these can be either donuts, chocolates, cakes, all the bad things that we should be eating. They're the things on the top of the food triangle. With this, it also includes beers. I know you're at quite a young age and you like to go out. So I need you to be honest here with me so I can get a clear understanding where you're at. How many serves per week do you have of discretionary choices?
Probably about 10 beers on the weekend.
10 beers on the weekend?
I also like my junk food, so
Sure.
10 plus.
Sure, so that 10 plus. Okay. So I don't think you need a referral to a nutritionist. I think that we can work together and try to just get you to chop and change a few things and get you on a better path to bodybuilding. What we can do, I can give you some strategies here, put these in place, and hopefully these can help you reach your dietary goal. So the first one I've got here for you is to add a serve of vegetables and fruit to 3 meals during your day per week.
Yep.
This one you can chop out all the bad choices of junk food. Don't have to do it straight away. Maybe just try to so instead of eating a chocolate, you do 1 apple. Maybe just start slowly, 1 per day. But we want to try and work to, before next time I see you, that you're doing 3 serves of vegetables and fruit per day.
Yep.
Number 2 would be to reduce your bread and cereals and discretionary choices by 2 serves per day.
Yep.
So discretionary choices, that means beers. If we can try to stay off the beers, maybe if you have, let's say, 4 a night, let's try and reduce that to 2 a night, and eventually 1 a night, and then hopefully just on the weekends. The best thing to do if you're trying to take bodybuilding seriously would try to reduce that to 0, but obviously that's a work in progress. And number 3 is, with main meals, use vegetables as your main source of carbs, and make sure you have a small portion of meat on the side and a small portion of either rice or pasta. We don't want to be having too much bulky carbs. If we can stick with vegetables or salads, would be the best way to try and keep ourselves lean and reduce body fat.
Yep.
So that is everything for today, and I'll see you next time when we do some more testing. Thank you, Dane.
Thanks, Dylan.
Awesome.